Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
It breaks my heart, George. It breaks my heart, but DPD have let me down.
Oh no.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Bumper episode. Loads to talk about.
Yeah, there is a lot to talk about.
Loads to talk about.
What do you want to start with?
Well, just quickly, you mentioned before we hit the record button, you're rewatching Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah. You're
I
not
say
that much of a TV film kind of guy.
no. I'm rewatching it, and I'll admit it's mainly background noise, but it's good background noise. So I'll have
Drugs,
it on when I'm doing
guns,
sort of
death.
Well, here's what I
Calming
do.
Stuff.
So I watch it when I'm doing drum pad stuff, because drum pad stuff is quite monotonous.
It's boring, isn't it? Practice.
Boring, but you got to do it. But you don't want to be too over stimulated. You know what I mean? You don't want to be making a roast whilst trying to do your moella. But also when it's just that every day, it's a bit like, all right, sometimes it's just keeping the things going. If you got to, anyway, enough about that.
You don't want to be too stimulated while doing your practice, so you're going to watch one of the best TV shows ever made.
Yeah, well, here's my thing, though. So when it's a bit that I'm like, oh, I need to watch this. So say like I've just been watching season 2 where there's an amazing episode which is seen as the most raw, the most real part of Breaking Bad, where Jesse has to go over to those meth heads' house and their kids there, and that was like a dark episode.
So that's when you switch to paradiddles.
Well, no, that's when I'm watching, and sort of, okay, I'll just do my the bits that I know. But when there's a scene with Skylar and Ted, I'm like, oh, you fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like when she's singing Happy Birthday to him, that's when I do the tricky stuff, because I'm like, I'm not asked about her or what she's doing, I know it's part of the story, but also it's the worst bit of the story. You know what I mean? Give me the drugs. Give me the mad shit. Oh, season 3, cartels involved. Now I really don't care about Skylar's life, So, been watching Breaking Bad. But as with anything, most of the shows I watch are just things I've watched before. So, it's I don't feel like I need to pay attention. Yeah, this is it. Although everyone is talking about Baby Reindeer. I think that's what
everyone
it's
is talking about Baby Reindeer.
And I haven't watched it yet, so no
Not
spoilers.
watched it yet, no. Just finished Fallout and Shogun. So that's been my recent fix. And just to go back to Breaking Bad, you know this already, but during lockdown, I rewatched it. I watched the whole thing in 9 days.
Yeah, I watched it in about that as well. Not to take that away from you, but I remember I watched it in about 5 or 6 days, because it was when I finished uni first year and I came back home and everyone was still going to work and college, I think. And I had nothing to do all day. And I would just watch it until I know this is the same, about 4 a.m. until I couldn't stay awake. And I'd be like, oh,
I'm not bragging. I'm just letting people know it's possible.
It is possible. But it kind of ruined it for me, because there was no time to think about it. I think if you watch it, to
decompress from all the mad shit.
Yeah, because I think the last great show that was on telly that everyone was talking about was Line of Duty. Like, everyone was talking about it. What is going to happen next week? And that last season, everyone got involved. And then, you and I would discuss it, and we'd be like, what is going to happen? You'd have a week to compress. Whereas if you just binge it, something mental can happen on Breaking Bad. And then Netflix is like, next episode in 3, 2, 1. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. Here we go. Right. So,
well, I think Line of Duty had it was on weekly. It retained that old school weekly delivery, which forced you to have a week to think about it.
Yeah,
gave you the water cooler movements.
Yeah, Breaking Bad did.
Yeah,
when it was on telly, but
now it's all streaming out. You watch the whole thing in 9 days.
Yeah,
a badge of honour. Some might say, do something with your life. Others might
Some might say you'd had a hard start of the year.
That's
so
the
fair
best
enough.
thing you can do with your life. What's better than that? Drums. Let's move on to drum talk. What you got for me, boy?
Shall I talk about... Right, so May the 25th is mental, right? I don't even know where to begin with this date. And none of this is me trying to flex or anything. We all get offered gigs. We all get, whatever. But I think originally I had a gig with you. No, it was a Decade gig. I was on bass. Were you on drums?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I had a gig with you. And then I can't even remember the order of it. I think another gig came in, which was an artist gig and seemed like, the preferable thing to do. So then I asked you if we could dep that one out. But I can't, there was something else as well. Basically, then there was another gig that I was meant to be on, which I gave to Connor Griffiths. And then I think the fourth one was, I got offered something else. Basically, it was like 4 potential gigs for one date. And it just annoyed me because I thought, well, I can only do one, and they're all basically about the same fee. But you think, man, if I could do them Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you'd make good money. Instead, you make a quarter of it. I just wanted to open up the topic of getting deps and when do you decide to get a dep? Because here's my thing. I think I'm more and more brutal about going, I'm doing this gig, but something else has come in that is preferable. So I'll make sure I dep it to someone that I know can do the job, but I am going to dep it. And I think in the past, I've tried to be a bit more like, oh no, I've said I'll do the gig and the band knows me and I don't want them to have to deal with a dep. So a good example of it is when in August 2021, I had some gigs with that Oasis cover band, and it was, it was like 50 quid gigs or something. And both the gigs in August, another gig offer came in, and I didn't want to let down this cover band. And then it turned out they actually cancelled both the gigs anyway because they both got COVID. Like the guitarist got COVID, so it got cancelled, and then, the drummer got COVID or something. So then I didn't have any gigs
Did they get COVID or did they want to watch Breaking Bad in 9 days?
Well, together, yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah. But I remember after that going, no, do you know what? Like,
I can't do the gig. I got COVID. Da-dong. Yeah. Hear the Netflix bong in the background.
do, 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 do. That's the end of Breaking Bad intro theme. Should we try and do the Breaking Bad intro theme? Just mouth it. You ready? Do, boom. do, 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 do. Yeah?
Great.
What do you think? Yeah, great.
I like it, yeah.
So, anyway, point of that is I could have made way more money on a different gig, and I didn't want to dep out because I felt bad for that band. And I think more and more I go, no, do you know what? As long as you're not a dickhead about it, as long as you leave enough time and actually find a dep yourself, I think it's okay. You know what I mean? I think I used to be a lot more like, no, this is the gig I said I would do on this day. And now I learned it from other people as well. Like I was talking to Johnny Brister about it, and he says, look, as long as I find someone that will do the job well, like what is the issue? But yeah, May 25th, for whatever reason, I mean, you said it's a bank holiday weekend, so that's probably part of it.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
But just all in
it just
one
happens.
day.
I mean,
just mental.
I'm in 3 wedding bands, and it's very common that if I could do all the gigs each band had,
yeah,
I'd be a lot busier.
Yeah.
But there's only so many Fridays and Saturdays
this is it.
in a year. I guess what you're talking about is, and I'm not using this word negatively,
no,
but you're being a bit more selfish.
Yeah, but I think you have to be.
True.
I think,
I'm not, yeah. I think so. You're
Yeah.
thinking, what's right for Georgino?
Yeah.
What's right for Giorgio? What's he? What do I want?
Yeah.
And you put in a bit of, I think there is I don't know, like an anxiety, a guilt over like saying you do something and then, going back on that. You know, but as you say, if you're sourcing a dep of one of quality, of repute that you can put onto this gig. The one question I had for you about particularly May 25th, because you were talking to me about getting a dep for the Decade gig. And it was like, yep, cool. After a bit of to and fro in, you were still sorting out the details with your other gig.
Yeah.
And then eventually, yes, we needed to find a dep. And then you started messaging me about all these other gigs that you were being offered on the 25th.
Yeah.
One of them seemed like you'd already had the gig.
Yeah, Hopefully Lucy doesn't listen to this podcast.
So I think you'd already double booked yourself.
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
on
this
that day.
rarely happens if people are listening and want to book me. But yeah, I don't know how that slipped through the net. I think it was because I thought it was next year, because so many gigs are booked for 2025, or the following year. And then she put up a thing saying, "Hey guys, just a thing about May 25th." And I went, "Oh my God. Not only have I had to dep out, I was going to try and skirt around this. Not only have I had to try and dep out one gig, now I'm going to have to try and dep out another one.
I've got to dep out two. Got
to dep out two. And then, I remember the other one. It was a new friend of mine just messaged me, and he was someone that I said, "Hey, if you ever need a drummer." And he just said, "Hey, I've got a gig." And I went, "Oh, cool. Oh,
can't do it. I've already got 3.
Yeah, so. Exactly. But
it's frustrating when all the gigs come on the same day.
It is.
You can't help but feel like it's lost money, but
it's
not.
Yeah. No.
But that's
it does feel like that.
And I've said this before. If people got married on a Monday afternoon,
it'd be great.
And the reception was at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. Let's move on. Have you got anything else? Shall I take over for a little bit?
Do you want to take over for a little bit? You do your things. Yeah. Go.
First off, I think I've got a delivery issue. I might save that. I might save that towards the end.
Save it for the end.
Because I might get angry. I'm going to get angry.
Okay. Yep.
I'm going to get angry. Okay. Yeah. Just firstly, I don't know if you noticed WhatsApp, right?
I heard about this. Yeah.
So when it's just you're on WhatsApp and you can see if people are online or typing, all of a sudden they've capitalised the words typing and online. And it looked really weird. It was really jarring.
Yeah.
And then a few people were like, "That's weird. Mine's in capitals." I was like, yeah, it is. It's weird. They've switched it back. So I don't know if anyone noticed that. I think the world protested.
Yeah.
With all the issues in the world, I think that was the right one to protest against.
Yeah. Definitely.
We don't want the online and typing to be capitalised, please.
I think it's just easier to protest that, innit? You know what I mean?
And it's probably a simple fix.
Probably a simple, quick bug fix.
Simpler than...
I was looking at this because I was updating all my apps the other day, and it said, I was like, what are they doing? And it just says, we fixed the bugs. And I'm like, I would love to know what that actually means. You know what I mean? Because you, as a user, you never notice an actual difference in WhatsApp. It's just the same, unless they change it to capitals.
I had experience with bugs in the gaming industry that I worked in. And so for part of my job, we had a testing team. And so it would basically be like, everything gets tested before release. And so it'd be like, in SingStart, if you press X to go to the menu, then choose this song, and play this round, at the end, the game doesn't go back to the menu.
Yeah. And
it should do. That gets reported as a bug, and then the programmers will go in and fix that. So, because making all these, games, software, apps, things like that is incredibly complicated, and there's so much code behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That something will get missed.
Yeah.
And then what usually happens is then you have a beta release where a certain select gets put into the hands of a certain select number of users, and they will just use it. Because what's very hard to replicate in a developer situation is how the common user is going to use it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because then if you've only got 10 people testing it, and if they know the software and how it works, well, they'll just do it a certain way. But when you put it into the hands of a 65-year-old woman or a 14-year-old child, or you put it to a vast different devices, iPhones, Samsungs, all these things, then it's going to get a wider... People are just going to use it in slightly different ways, sending attachments, sending emojis, all this sort of thing. And then users or this app itself also can self-report bugs, and so you can... that information gets sent back, and then they fix it. And what would commonly happen with computer games before the internet is they'd have to be ready. And some games that were made on cartridge or DVD or CD-ROM, for your Master System, your Mega Drives, your Dreamcast, your Sega Saturns, your GameCubes, all that sort of stuff. Once it was on the disc, that was it. It was, and you got games that were released that had bugs in them, where you do a certain number of things, it would crash and you couldn't fix it. But now what they do with computer games is, because they'll finish the game, let's say like 3 months before release date, and then it gets sent off to be mastered and pressed onto disc and all that. And then what happens is, in that next 3 months, that you're allowed a leeway of bugs. It can have so many bugs. You can't have. I don't think you can have any red bugs, which are like will crash the game. But you can have a certain number of bugs that just make it go funny, or little things that don't work. And then in that time between finishing the game and it coming out, they'll fix those bugs. So when you put the game in your PlayStation now, you download it, it instantly downloads an update patch. So it fixes those sorts of bugs. Yeah. So, and I see it with, I just had some issues with Pro Tools yesterday, and like, you look at the release notes for each little updated version, and there's thousands, there's hundreds of little fixes, and it'll just be that someone's done something and something's not worked. They'll report it to Pro Tools and say, hey, when this happens, and they go, okay, let's have a look. Oh yeah, there's a little problem with the programming. We'll fix it and we'll release a new version. Anyway, sorry, that's... No,
it's true. I think I meant more like, you look at WhatsApp and you're like, oh, it's just I send a message and that's it. And you go like, haven't they done it by now? Do you know what I mean? Haven't they fixed all the bugs? That's all it is.
And that's why they then dick around with things like, let's capitalise the typing and online.
Yeah.
And then people go, fuck off, you're ruining my life.
It's like,
I'm trying to watch Breaking Bad here.
We've done all the bug fixes there are. What should we do? Don't know. Capital?
Well, the trouble is, you see, whilst they might have finished it and go... Because I think, well, haven't we done toothpaste yet?
Yeah.
Each year, this is the best toothpaste. I thought last year was the best.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. How many blades do we need on these shavers, 2's all right. 1's all right, probably.
Gillette 17. It's got 17. It's a fucking lawnmower.
Yeah, exactly.
On your face. But what happens is, not only is... They might go, WhatsApp, it's done now. It's great. But how does that then interact with the new version of Dropbox? How does that interact with the new version of the iPhone, iOS? How does that interact with the new Windows phone or the new Samsung phone when that gets operated and security gets improved? Or how does it deal with sending files that PDFs that are created with new software? So everyone's evolving and everyone's playing catch up at the same time, because it's a fucking nightmare in the recording studio.
Yeah,
of all the different developers up. Oh, there's a new Mac OS. Great, don't upgrade because everyone else needs to catch up.
Yeah,
Oh, we've now changed to the M1 chip. Great, but calm down. Yeah, got to wait for the software to be ready.
The world changes quicker. It's not going to slow down.
True. Well, we've done that. Finally got my ears moulded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that it?
No, after a 6-week wait for a doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
I'm not slamming the NHS. They were all lovely along the way. Just took ages to get an appointment, I guess, because it really wasn't important, but it was important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've paid for these ACS in here.
Do you not listen to the podcast?
I want them now.
Yeah.
I've started gigging again and I've got damaged hearing.
This is it.
So I went in. She looked at me and went, yeah, you're fine. And I was like, cool, cheers, bye. No infection or anything, so all good. Got the go ahead. So made an appointment at Boots. I went, and you had it done, didn't you? For your, you had where they put the moulding stuff in.
Yeah. Love it.
Weird, isn't it?
I quite like it. It's weird when they talk to you, and you're like, wow.
It's when you can just feel it fill up.
Yeah. It's when they
like
take
you're
it
going
out.
Underwater.
Yeah. When they take it out, it's the best feeling ever.
Satisfying, isn't it?
Oh, God. What a release.
Did they put a little sponge in first?
Yeah, they put a little sponge. Have I ever told the story about when I went and it was this woman's first day doing it? And she got really Oh, God, this was mad. So I think it was in like Havant Meridian Centre or something at a Boots. And I went in and there was 2 women there, both not young. Like, it wasn't like she was like 18 and like, oh, I'm really worried. She was well into her 30s, maybe 40s. Not saying that matters, but also kind of does, to say how dramatic she was, right? So we the one that had clearly been doing it a while was sort of explaining, okay, this is what's going to happen, and my colleague Sue, don't know, is going to do it for you, and it was clear that she was maybe her first day or something. She starts putting in like the bit of, I don't know, cotton wool or whatever that they put in first.
The little sponge,
The little sponge, yeah. And she's like shaking, like just really shaking, going into my ears. And I can feel it. And I'm sort of almost flinching because I can just feel this, like, I'm like, this doesn't feel calm. And then she starts getting the whatever the green paste is that they put in the ear. And well, not paste, but you know what I mean.
I think it's Play-Doh, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that kind of vibe. And she starts getting it ready, and she's shaking and almost whimpering. And then she was about to put it in my ear, and then she just says to her, like, her colleague, her supervisor, she's basically crying. She went like, I don't think I can do this, like that. And then she was like, okay, right, okay, I'll take over. And then she just sort of sat there in the corner, sort of half crying, half watching, and then the other woman finished it, and then it was just dead quiet. And I was trying to be really like, hey, it's all right. Like, don't worry about it,
It's okay. Like, you bottled it. You bottled it in front of me, in front of your supervisor.
Yeah.
You've crumbled.
You've crumbled. You've started a new career or something because
you've made a
about
change.
40. Yeah.
And that's brave. Well done. But you've absolutely fucked it.
Yeah, I've fucked it so badly. And you're crying
If you've got children, I think they'd be very disappointed in you.
Yeah.
But don't worry. Have a little sit down, have a cry. Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it? All the training that she went through and everything. She probably did some sort of course and all that. And then her first day, and she starts crying. And I felt bad for her, but also I was like, come on, this is mental. You got a supervisor here. I'm all right. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a threat, You're going in my ears. I'm not going in your ears. Anyway, I don't know what the point of all that was. It was just, it was a weird experience, the
woman who did mine yesterday did not lack confidence. But what I was impressed with is just...
I don't even know what that means.
I was a bit worried she was going to put other things in other places. She was so... Is how it dries pretty quick. Like, it dries really quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
Like just a few minutes, and then it's like this solid. Because I think, what if? But yeah, and it's just
what if it gets stuck?
Yeah, well, not if it gets stuck, but like just a pretty cool. It's a liquid. Yeah. Now it's a solid.
Yeah, yeah.
Pulls it out. Oh, I can hear it.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. So that's all been sent off to ACS. So hopefully I should have them soon.
Well, keep me in the loop with that, because because if they're good, I'll get them. I mean, I'm going to get them anyway.
Let's move on.
Do you want to do
one thing? Yeah. You wanted to talk about?
That's good. Right, let's do that. Because, so I was driving the other day listening to the radio. Why are you dancing? Is that
because of the segue?
Oh, okay. I was listening to the song One Thing by Amiri, I think. Amiri. If you're listening to this podcast, feel free to pause this and put on the song One Thing, or just listen afterwards. I don't care. But I just thought it's an interesting song because it's sampled from, I googled it, a song called Old Calcutta by the Meters. And it's basically just drums all the way through. If you don't know the song, I'll perform a little bit now, okay?
Do you want me to do my dance?
Yeah. It's just one thing that got me tripping. It's just one thing I got to admit it. It's just one thing. It's not so weird. It's just one thing you did. Oh. So that's basically the hook. And but the drums, it's almost like it's just her singing and drums all the way through. And her singing almost matches the drums. And I was just listening to it going, this is great. And there's certain songs like that where you're like, drums are kind of the prominent part of this track. It's almost, there's not really any sort of, there's like some guitar like, bow, maybe at the start of the bar, but apart from
chords,
that,
just on the one.
Just on the one, yeah.
So I could do them on the 2 and 3 and
No, don't worry
just do
about
it on
that.
the one.
Just do it on the one.
Producer, just do it on the one. Are you a drummer? A little bit. Yeah. Does this song need anything else? Nope. Don't think so.
But another
what if I
good
did
song,
a chord on the end of just do it on the one? Sorry.
Yeah, still on the one. No, that's okay. I was trying to look up the other
Johnny
song.
Bass? Nope.
I thought Uptown Girl as well. That's a song that the drums, for whatever reason, really have like a, I'm trying not to sound cheesy, but a personality. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like, if you listen to a lot of songs on the radio, it's like the drums are sort of told to just give me kick and snare and leave it at that. But I really like, I mean, all drummers like this, when you can kind of hear, I don't know, a bit more flavour. But there's something about one thing, my God, that's just like, I don't know. It's just great.
Would you
to make this, yeah, go on.
kind of put Single Ladies in a similar vein
Yeah.
as one
Yeah,
thing?
that's
like
very sort of drum orientated.
kind of a busy beat, Bella
Yeah.
the Ride,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of funky sort of thing, yeah.
And it's almost like the vocals are sort of matching it, maybe. I'm not sure. Point being, if you're listening to this, because, you know, our listenership does go up by about one person every 6 months. So if you're listening to this, send in any other songs that you can think of that sort of the drums is maybe the main part of the track. Because, it's interesting. Because it's, you know, who needs the melody? Just give me drums and vocals, baby. Give me drums and vocals, baby. That's enough about that. What else you got to talk about?
Well, I'm going to move on to a little-known cymbal brand that I've seen crop up a lot. A little company called Zildjian.
Who?
Now, a couple of things to talk about with Zildjian.
Yeah, there
I'm
are.
a big fan of Zildjian.
Yeah.
As you know, I've got plenty of Zildjian cymbals. I've also got Sabian. I ain't a one-brand man. Not anymore. You've got Zildjians.
I've got Zildjians.
Now, George, do you remember the Z Custom?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
They're back, baby.
Yeah.
And this is like...
I think I had some.
I had at least one Z
Yeah.
Custom. I definitely had a Z Custom Crash, and I'm pretty sure it was 17 inches. I'm pretty sure I also had a KZ hi-hat combo, which I'm pretty sure... Ooh, I really wouldn't want to bank on it, but I'm pretty sure it was a Z on the bottom and a K on the top.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was how it came. That was like a combo. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Unless someone just absolutely mugs me off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There are two odds and sods lying around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it's the KZ combo. Everyone's using them. Who's your favourite drummer? Trey Cool. Yeah, he's using them. Cool. Right, I'll buy them then.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember much about the Z Custom?
I just remember they came in a pack. You could usually get a pack, and it seemed like a good starter pack. I feel like, I could be wrong, I feel like that's what, maybe I didn't. I swear I got a cymbal pack, and it was like a Crash, hi-hats, and a China, or something ridiculous like that. It's like, why have a China? Why put a ride in there instead? And I think they were Z Customs, but I could be wrong. But they all broke, you know. And then I think I kept...
Are you thinking about the ZBTs?
Oh, I might be thinking about that.
So Z Customs were not a budget cymbal.
Okay,
like
I'm
they were
definitely not thinking about that then.
up there with A's and K's.
Yeah.
You know, they were the Z line. But they, from what I can remember, they were a very thick cymbal, a very heavy cymbal. And they had this unique swirly sort of star pattern that went round. That was the sort of hand-hammered markings around them. And they... I think, I might be wrong in saying, but they were sort of they were cymbals for metal. For metal music. They were big, brash, very thick. And then Zildjian, for some reason, they stopped making them. I guess they, evolved with the times. Like, maybe metal and punk dipped away and pop took over. And everyone wanted A's and K's, everyone wanted that darker, drier sort of thing. But in Zildjian's own words, with the rise of metal, I don't know if that's a thing, but they've brought them back. And it is kind of weird to be around long enough to see a model be discontinued and come back.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, but it attracted a lot of like, social media attention. Like, a lot of people were calling for them to bring them back, and they've brought them back.
Yeah.
And they look. I don't know if you've seen any of the videos and stuff, but they are sort of marketing them as the sort of, at the sort of metal market and for heavy hitters and stuff. But they look amazing, and I'd love to go and try them out, because I can't help but feel my Z Custom back in the day was obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like, there was no subtlety to it.
Yeah.
I think they've tweaked them slightly, but it's just very cool that they've
it is cool.
back.
It's cool.
And I'd be very interested to go and hear. So I'm not sure if Graham's got any in at the moment. I'm not sure if he's got them, but as soon as he does, I might go and have to have a goosey. And see. I
wouldn't mind a big Z Custom ride.
Do you remember the Mega Bell?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So that was a Z Custom.
Of course,
with the largest bell.
Yeah.
A 21-inch Z Custom Mega Bell ride. And I had the largest. They've brought that back as well.
Amazing.
And it's almost like I want to get some just for laughs.
Yeah.
Just to have them. But isn't that weird? How I don't know that something. It's like if they brought Friends back. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like
can't now,
back.
but yeah.
Well, no. Well. Friend.
Yeah. No. It's.
But that's cool.
But no, I like the nostalgic element, and it's like a band getting back together,
Yeah. And
they go
re-release or something. It's it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I was just trying to think if there was a chocolate bar equivalent.
What, that they discontinued and brought back?
Yeah. Did the Whisper go anywhere? I'm not sure it did.
Oh, Time Out. I swear that disappeared, but they're back now. So do with that what you will. But, some men, and probably women, but mainly men, can't get past the fact that marathon bars are now Snickers. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before on the pod, but it needs to be said, men of an age still believe that it's a marathon bar, and it changed in 1990. So,
Well, we all remember the Opal Fruits to Starburst.
Oh, no, I don't remember that.
No, too young.
Too young for that.
Cool. Well, that's Zildjian, and then they're not relenting, George. They are not relenting. Not only have they brought the Z Custom back.
Yeah.
But that's weird, because they've also got some like Z Custom merch. They've also got some Z Custom sticks. They've got these thick Z Custom like rock sticks in different colours. And part of me just wants to get it all for the just for the like. I don't give a fuck what it's like. I just
start a metal band.
Because I did have some good cymbals growing up when I first got into Zildjian. I had Z Custom, and a lot of my A Custom projections. A couple of them were broke, but some are part exchange, and it's like I do wish I still had them.
Yeah,
I do wish I'd kept them all, but that's the nature when you're younger, isn't it? You can't afford to keep adding. You have to keep rejuvenating, replacing. Anyway, Zildjian are not letting up. And you texted me this last night. I'd already seen it.
Yeah.
A cryptic couple of images on their Instagram.
Yeah.
I was going to bring it up now.
Can I just say, they probably listened to last week's episode.
Well, I think so. I
have some things to say on that, actually. I'll say it now before you get it up. So you mentioned last week about how you've, made your kit for function gigs, electric kit, and that is what will happen on every function gig. And I don't know if it's because of that, but more and more I've seen on all the groups, dep groups or whatever, it's like, hey guys, gig, electric kit only, whatever. And it is becoming more and more of a theme. So it's like, it does make sense, you know what I mean? It's sad, but it's, more and more, be in the way. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to become more and more common. And then you're in the tricky situation of, I guess, kind of chicken and egg. Like, if we not succumb to the sound emitters, but if we go, do you know what? They're just functions.
Yeah.
We're gonna, and you've got these new electronic hybrid kits coming out. F-Note, Roland, VADs. Alesis have got a new one that looks like a real kit. The EDW, all these sorts of things. And we go, that's what we're going to need to get through it, but they're also good enough to do all functions. Then the venues might go, well, now, even if they don't have such a strict sound restriction, they might just go, it's all electric kit. You have that's they kind of. I mean, they don't know fuck all about sound anyway, so I doubt they'll catch on quick enough.
Yeah.
But then you can have a situation where people go, well, this is now possible, so now we are going to make it electric only. Like, this is going to be now the standard. And I think maybe it'll be the drummers embracing it first.
Yeah.
But as I said, I've got a gig on this weekend where there's no sound emitter, so I'm going to take my real cymbals and give that a try and do the proper kick and snare separate outputs. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zildjian posted, they've not been, they're cymbal manufacturers, of course, just recently celebrated their 400th anniversary. But obviously recently as well, they had a little dip into the drum world with that mentally priced limited edition snare drum. That $5,000 one. So I was like, what's Zildjian doing making drums?
Yeah.
Well, their post yesterday is a picture of what you can see as a if you go on the Zildjian company Instagram, it looks like an electronic drum pad, and the mesh head has Zildjian on it, and there's what at the front you can kind of see like a cymbal pad or something. An electronic experience 400 years in the making. And then you swipe, then there's another picture, and it's a full-on E-kit, essentially.
Yeah.
Like what we're talking about with my Roland and stuff. However, the cymbals look real, but they look like the L80s, the Zildjian silent cymbals, but they have cables running out of them.
Yeah.
So this has generated a lot of comments. E-kits never get cymbals right, but if anyone's going to, it'll be Zildjian.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who thinks this is a bad idea? Well, so begins another downward spiral for Zildjian.
Yeah.
Silly people. I think Zildjian are okay.
Yeah.
But obviously, so then this led me down a little bit of a rabbit hole because
you love
clearly
a rabbit hole.
Zildjian are getting in the E-kit game.
Yeah.
And you'd probably say the weakest part of electric kit is the cymbals.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Zildjian are obviously getting it. So it says coming 5/10/2024. I'm pretty sure that's the 10th of May because of the American dating system. If not, it's a long wait till October.
Yeah.
But I'd assume it's the American way. But then this led me down. And have you ever heard of the Zildjian Gen 16s?
No,
you see. I hadn't, because someone mentioned on the comments, I think, about Zildjian's second attempt at electronic cymbals. And so I looked it up, and it seems about in 2018, 2017, I might have that wrong, Zildjian made these electronic cymbals. Now, they look like what are now known as the L80s.
Right.
So the silent cymbals, so they're sort of brass, but they've got, loads of perforated holes in them that you've got set like that. There's a lot of other brands doing, like Evans have their silent cymbals. But it looks like these were made first to be E-cymbals. And then sensors are attached to the cymbal. Right? So it plays like your silent cymbals, like the L80s. But it has a sensor on it. Then it came with its own separate drum module with 99 preset cymbal sounds. And you can change what hi-hat sound. So it's kind of like a trigger.
Yeah.
But apparently it does it in a slightly different way to a trigger. So there's this guy playing these L80s, but they weren't called L80s at the time, and he's just changing the sound of the hi-hats. Looked really interesting, but it kind of crashed and burned from what it looked like, because you had to have it only worked with their own module.
Yeah.
And there was no screen on it, just dials to change which sound. And so if you were running it with an E-kit, you'd have to have an E-kit plus the E-kit module. And it seemed a bit... I think people said the sounds were good, but And then obviously it just it didn't work.
Yeah.
And then they just rebranded them, took out the sensors of the module and rebranded them as L80s, low volume cymbals.
Yeah.
But the low volume cymbals, the L80s, didn't come from a need to just have real cymbals quiet.
Yeah.
They came as part of a design for
Wow.
an E cymbal.
Yeah. And then they took
I
it
think that's
away.
great.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
Then they took away a big part of it, and then it was actually, then it became successful.
Yeah, so then they
almost.
stopped doing it, and then
Yeah.
they went, well, why don't we just
Yeah.
use the
Sell
cymbals
that.
and
Yeah.
sell them as practice
Yeah.
cymbals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
That's quite cool. But I think what people have done since, when we were talking about people triggering their own acoustic kits with mesh heads, people have made these, like, essentially triggers for that you can attach to mesh cymbals.
Yeah.
But it appears from that picture, it might be wrong, that Zildjian are having another go at using L80 cymbals, what they're now known as, to be able to trigger real cymbals.
Yeah.
So you don't have pads anymore. You have, and obviously they've teamed up with some, don't know who, maybe they've teamed up with a drum manufacturer or something, but it looks like a full Zildjian E-kit. So very, very interesting.
It is
But
interesting.
it's a boom. It's a huge boom.
Yeah.
Excuse the pun. That people
Well,
are...
where will we be in 5 years? You know, how close will they get? It's like if you watch... I was watching Shrek the other day at work. I won't talk about my job, but sometimes you just get to watch films. And, yeah, I was watching it, and there was bits of it. I was like, oh, this looks old now. You know what I mean? But at the time, you're like, this is fucking mental. Look at this.
Yeah.
Dragons and a donkey and shit.
Oh, you
know?
watch Toy Story 1 now?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So what will it be like with electric kits? Will be like in 10 years, you'll be like, I can't believe I was playing that on a gig. That was all, you know. Because at the moment, we kind of do sometimes feel like that, you know. But it'll be like, how did we get away with playing that? That was this thing. You played that, you know. So like a small little Roland kit. But will it be, I don't know. It's just it's just exciting, isn't it? To see how good. Because bands are using it. Like, bands, The Who use them now, you know. Zach Starkey uses an electric kit because Pete Townsend's ears can't hack a real kit, you know. And it's like, if it's not, you know, it's every level electric kits are used now, so they've got to get better, you know. And it sounds like they just will continue to.
Yeah, I think, you know, I can't imagine like big bands using them, but like, well, but you get, you know, people are using so many hybrid setups in terms of like if you look at, you know, Woody and Bastille and Royal from Shikari, like it's a real kit, but it's littered with pads.
Yeah,
you know, so they really are incorporating the electronic sort of thing. But I definitely think in this, especially in the function, the corporate, that working shows. I mean, wouldn't surprise me if that they adapted to using them in pits and theatre shows.
Yeah.
You know, I did helped a friend out and did a school show, like playing drums for Bugsy Malone. And obviously nothing is mic'd up. The singers have got microphones on stage, but I'm playing a real kit.
Yeah.
If I played that anywhere near 50% volume, it would be the loud. You wouldn't be able to hear, you know, little Janine tootling on the clarinet.
Yeah, exactly.
But what a scenario that is!
Yeah.
Is to have the sort of the Roland setup, or where you are running an E-kit and it's all just the volume is just also controllable.
Yeah.
It's for all those sorts of things. Maybe in the West End in the pit, like or that, you know, shows where the drummer has the experience of playing a real setup, but it's just all run through. So yeah, where will we be?
Where will we be?
But everyone's getting in. When are we get? We need to finish up designing our E-kit, don't we? Because everyone's doing one, so I thought we should. Drums, electronic noise, hit it. I think that's the slogan.
I think if we designed a drum kit, it would be like Homer Simpson's dream car. Like, right, we need a drinks holder there, you know. It just look ridiculous, but it would be great, you know. Well, last thing on that, Zildjian, I'll just say, it's interesting though, because you go, there is a part of me, I could just be, you know, wrong, but I'm like, why are they doing this though? You know, like, just, you make cymbals, just leave it, you know, Dave from Hardcase, I'm not going to mess around with anything else. We make hard cases, that's that. And you're like, what's going on? Are you having money troubles, Zildjian? Or is it like, I don't know. It's just interesting. I think when they did that snare, it was like, oh, Zildjian have done a snare. That's quite a cool little 400th anniversary thing. They've done a drum. They've made a drum. But now it's like, if they start making E-kits, it's like, where are they going? Are they going to, are they morphing into a drum company?
I mean, I guess what they are going for is they've already dabbled in this before with the Gen 16s, as I found out. And I guess they're looking at being a cymbal manufacturer is going, well, one thing we can do better than anyone else is cymbals.
Yeah.
And can we regenerate what we did with the Gen 16s? Can we reimagine that, use our LATs and give people the best electronic cymbal experience? And then rather than, and maybe you've got another company going, we can make electronic drums, and they've sort of teamed up, or they bought design from someone else and said, we'll brand it all Zildjian. So I imagine everything is going, well, we can do the electronic cymbals better than anyone else. Yeah. They've had a go before. They've probably seen what other people are doing. The fact the LATs are so popular, they could probably then sell maybe the device to turn those LATs into electric cymbals. They could sell that to people who already have the LATs. That would probably be my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
But as we said, it's a booming, it's a growing. It seems to be the new drum thing. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And you either go with it or you don't. And
and maybe it's fun. I mean, we will move on.
We've got the cymbal tech.
Maybe it's fun for those companies as well, because as Graham Russell said, it's like, how much can you? The drum has been. It's done. It's like, how much can you change it? You can change the finish and stuff, but. It's like maybe they're going, God, let's get stuck into this.
We've made a thin K. It's called paper thin. What's thinner than paper?
Yeah.
Air.
Yeah.
The K Air.
Yeah.
Cool is a new symbol. It's the same, just thinner.
Yeah. And it's like, do you want to get involved in this? Electric. Yeah. Bring it on. Right, let's move on.
Yeah, last thing from me anyway is it breaks my heart, George. It breaks my heart. But DPD have let me down.
Oh, no.
They've let me down and fucked me around.
Wow.
And I'd expect this from some of the cunts out there.
Yeah.
But not from my beloved DPD.
No. To be let
Come
down
on, guys. We
thing.
had something special.
Yeah. But to be fucked around.
We had a partnership. We had a trust. We had an understanding.
Yeah. How much publicity we've given your fucking company over the last 3 years.
And then you go behind my back.
Right, go on. Tell me what happened. Talk to me.
So I ordered some cables.
Okay.
So I've ordered some cables for the Roland.
Okay. Yep.
I've ordered 4 cables so I could do kick, snare, and a stereo out, right? 6 meter cables so they can reach PA. The first couple of gigs I used it on, I borrowed some from the studio, but I need to get my own ones.
Yeah.
Ordered them on Wednesday. Gear for Music. Delivery choice. I knew I'll be home on Friday. I will be home on Friday. So designated day delivery, paid extra to be delivered on Friday.
Yeah.
Lovely job.
Yeah.
What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Friday morning, I'm expecting the window.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I get the we have your parcel.
Yeah,
it gets linked into my DPD account. I'm expecting the window. No. There's been a delay to your parcel. It got sent to the Peterborough depot. Right?
Yeah.
Which I don't think it was meant to have been sent there. But obviously it's got up there. They can't get it down to me in time for the Friday delivery. That I've paid for. So anyway, your parcel will be delivered on Saturday. You'll get your delivery window. So, Saturday, plans in the morning. Well, plans to do in the day, but let's see when the DPD window is.
Yeah.
I get the window. It's like 11:45 till 1:45.
Yeah.
Something like that. 11:45. Go and do some stuff in the morning. Go and see Anne.
Yeah.
Got to go. Got a delivery coming.
Yeah.
So, get home. Gets to like 3 minutes before the window shuts. So let's say, I think it was like 12:55. It gets to like 12:52.
Yeah.
I get the notification, you're next.
Mm.
Yeah. Whatever his name was, David or someone. I can't remember. I was going to call him out. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Anyway, I get the notification, you're next. Now, my address, some people find it hard to find, but it's really not.
Yeah.
Right? But DPD always find it.
Yeah.
Right? Then my mobile rings
Mm.
from an unknown number, and I think, that's the delivery driver.
Yeah, there's David.
Maybe you can't find my house. Oh, a pigeon's just landed on my balcony.
Stay with it. Stay with the story, Ben.
And phone rings. I go to answer. He's already hung up before I've answered. He ringed me.
Oof.
Yeah. Then I was like, fucker. So I tried calling him back.
Yeah, of course.
Doesn't pick up. And then I get the notification. We're sorry we missed you. Your parcel will be delivered tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure. Fine. You sent it to Peterborough by mistake.
Mm.
Okay, I can live with that.
Mm.
But then Saturday, I changed my plans
Yeah.
to be at home. Sorry you missed me. I was at fucking home, mate.
Yeah.
I tried calling you back. And what you've done there is you were going to miss the hour window.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're probably running behind. That's fine. You have a lot of parcels delivering a day.
Mm.
I get it. I don't care if you're late.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather get my parcel.
Yeah.
Right. So he's rung me. So I tried to ring him, but he wasn't in.
Exactly.
And then he scarpered. Like someone else can sort it out tomorrow.
Yep.
So I did get it on Sunday, but this is the wrong man to piss off. But I feel let down. I think I'm going to write them a big email.
Yeah, do it.
I just, fuming. Absolutely
Are they
fuming.
still
To be let down by my boys?
I know. Are they still your top, or are they? Because I think every for me are my top one. Because I've never been let down by them. Do you know what I mean? You don't get the window, sure, but you get some sort of window, you know. And I feel like DPT are maybe too arrogant now. They know.
Well, I don't think DPD have let me down. I think that one prick has let me down.
Yeah.
He's a bad egg.
Yeah.
And he needs to go.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't need to be fired.
That's annoying.
Just what I want to chat him. I want to sit him down and chat to him and go, hey, I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. If you're going to be out of the hour window and you're going to be a few minutes late, don't worry about it. I'm fine with that. I'd rather get my parcel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't bullshit me. Or at least have the balls to, when you phone me, let me answer and then explain to me and go, I'm really sorry. Do you know what? Where are you? I'll come meet you.
Yeah. Did you see him outside? That's what I was going to ask. Did you have a look at you?
No, he didn't even bother.
Fair.
That's the thing. He didn't even bother.
Yeah.
Didn't even try, but he's made it look like he tried.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a phone record, so I tried to call him.
Yeah.
Couldn't, because I couldn't find the address. No, you were nowhere near my house.
Well, I had it whenever we started.
Liar.
When we started this podcast, this was probably how the delivery question came about. You know, it was topics like this in the early days, and so I saw the truck drive by, and as it drove by, it didn't. I think it maybe stopped for a sec.
I've seen someone put the "you're not input" through my letterbox. Hello, I'm here. Didn't even ring the doorbell.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
cool. Bloody hell, we've done about an hour. Yeah. That's good.
That's good. Lots to talk about. Follow the Instagram and see that keeps ticking up. George,
I've got some ideas for funny videos to do. I think that's what I'm going to do next.
Lovely.
You'll see what I mean by that. I might do one tomorrow. We'll see.
But go and follow Instagram, Apple, Spotify. Like the podcast. Yeah. Like it. 5 stars. Tell all your drummer mates. Tell all your musician mates. Tell all your mates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spread the good word. Email us in.
Yep.
Let us know. What are your thoughts on e-kits? What are your thoughts on the new Zildjian e-kit? Did you ever have Z Customs? Are you going to get some new ones? Stuff like that.
What are your thoughts on drum-orientated songs? What's the song
have you got
which
any,
is led by the drums? And I don't mean
Great
like,
question.
Toto has a really good groove in it. I don't mean that. I mean like songs that are like, oh my God, this is just a drum
all
track.
Drums, baby.
Yeah.
All power.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, right, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks, George.
See ya. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Ben. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.